The Presbyterian Church is called Presbyterian because of elders. Because presbyter is an elder. So when we talk of the Presbyterian Church of East Africa, we mean this is a church that is governed by elders. So anybody who is in governance in the Presbyterian Church is an elder. And that is where it derives its name. Presbyter, elder. Presbyterian, a church governed by elders.
I was born Presbyterian. My maternal grandfather was a Presbyterian elder. So my mom was Presbyterian. I understand when I was born, my auntie, my mom's sister, older sister, who was Catholic, took me when I was a suckling infant, and she had me baptized. So she's the one who chose for me my Christian name, Jacinta. When I was in class 4, class 5, I think, now I enrolled into a catechism classes to be baptized as Presbyterian. So I have been Presbyterian all my life.
An elder, I would say it's a calling whereby the congregation or the other elders plus the minister, they look for individuals who qualify to stand in the gap in the office of an elder. The congregation would look for an honest person, a person that has got a good standing within the community, and not only that, is somebody whom the community can go for guidance.
Hi. Hi.
Karibu.
Yes.
Come, have a seat.
Thank you. Beautification of this old lady.
Karibu sana.
Yes. Yeah. It had never occurred to me that I would become an elder. I didn't think I qualified for that. I thought there was a category of people who became elders. And that to become an elder, you need to maybe be a bit older, maybe have a kind of a personality, a different kind of personality. My personality is that sometimes I can let go. You know, I'm not a very rigid person. I don't know what other people see me, but being a teacher, being a drama teacher and all, sometimes I can just let go and be free. So I didn't think I would qualify for this. But Joe, that's my late husband, when we received the invitation, because it's brought to you as a family, he told me, no, you have what it takes. You have what it takes. He insisted, he persuaded me, he told me, no, we need people like you. So like, what kind of person am I? He said, no, you are a good person. You are a good leader. He must have seen in me something I hadn't seen in myself. So we accepted. Immediately I was ordained. I was among those elders who were transferred to grow the church in Kandeng'wa. I was born Jacinta Jerry Boro in Colonial Estate, somewhere near Ruiro. That was 1957. My mother picking coffee, my father working also in the coffee estate. I'm a firstborn child in my family. We are 8 in our family. My father had a strong desire for education, so he ensured that his children went to school. As a firstborn child, I grew up before my age, because once a child comes, I'm taking responsibility. I'm the big one. And the language of the day in my mother tongue is when we munene. So I can't cry when we munene. You know, I can't sit idle when we munene. It's school, domestic work, farm work, kibarua, you know. We would do pick coffee in other people's farms to make ends meet. And I did all that until I went to high school. I was admitted to Kahuhia Girls High School. I've never been happier. My school life was the best. really. Yeah, it was the best. When I was in Form 2, there was a very fiery revival. And that is when I got born again. Jehova niwe mũrĩithi wakwa, ndirĩ kĩndũ ingĩaga. Atũmaga njarahe cieni-inĩ iria ina nyeki. I love Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd. He has been my shepherd. I will not want. He has ensured that I'm provided for. I have walked through that valley several times. Valley that has shadows, but I have seen God leading me. I qualified to join Form 5. I went to Nairobi Girls, Form 5, Form 6, and then university. Nairobi University, Jomo Kenyatta College, the campus, to do education. I did B.Ed. I met Joe when I was in the university. This guy, we became friends, but I later realized he had eyes on me. And from there, one thing led to another. And so he went and paid dowry. And here I am, married. For the first time in my life, I got somebody who really cared about me. That he did. For that short time, because we didn't stay for many years, I can't say I lacked anything, really. A very agreeable person, very happy person. We'll go to the movies, taken for holidays, by air, you know. Yeah, we had a good time. We raised our children, a happy family, really, a happy family. Yeah, I got 4 children. I have Robert, I have Victor, Justin and Brenda, and they were happy children. But that kind of excitement of growing up in a family, a complete family, suddenly came to an end in 1996 when Joe passed on. And now I had to really, it was an uphill task, a tall order, for me to sustain the kind of, standard that my children were used to. My children had a challenge at adjusting, but eventually, I think by the grace of God, they adjusted. I hope they adjusted, but it wasn't easy.
Mom is the most resilient woman that I know. Person, not just woman. She's the most resilient person that I know. What my mother starts, she finishes. And rarely does she need anybody else's input or participation. She will do it by herself, and she will push it to the end. And yes, it does have its pros and cons. One of the cons is that, more often than not, you never feel like you have met the standards that my mother has set. The pros is that none of us, me being the firstborn, and I can speak for all my siblings, none of us has lagged behind in life in most of our areas, because we have had a lot of the counsel growing up. So it is part and parcel of our thinking pattern on a day-to-day basis.
We are now on page 21. When I relocated now and got married to here in Nderi, I joined P.C.E.A Church. I was an active deacon. I was an active leader of the Christian Education Committee, all the way to Presbyterian level. I was an active church school teacher. Yes, so I participated. I taught my children church school with other children.
I can say I have known Jacinta for very many years, because when the Christian education was started in 1993, we were the first people in the Christian education. We started holding seminars, conventions, crusades. And somebody, even if you are given an assignment with her, you'll be very happy because you know you are going to perform that task. She's very good with whatever she's doing.
Oka agodire guku koguo ni thitå rå hamwe nake maũndũ-inĩ maingĩ mokorio wa kanitha kĩhunjio-inĩ, anahunjia, anatara andũ, anatara ciana nini, tara andũ agima, anetwo gũthomithia indo itiganĩte thĩinĩ wa kanitha, na rũgendo rũrũ ruothe nĩ tũkeneire wĩra wake.
She has opened to us her heart, and we have seen the different levels. We have seen the mountains that she has been able to climb just through her faith. We have seen the valleys that she has been able to overcome. We've seen the shadows that have tried to stop her along the way, but her faith has remained strong and staunch, and she has come through strong and having conquered.
I reported in Nderi Parish in September 2000, and one of the people who had been just elected to serve in the session office was Madam Jacinta. She was the first lady to occupy that office since Nderi Parish was inaugurated. She was very prayerful. She was very careful about her character. I knew she had a family which she was taking care of as a widow, and she was working. She was at that time lecturing at P.C.E.A Teachers College. Here was a lady who wanted to do what was right in terms of her God. Do you know that she also served as a presbytery clerk of the new Mogoga Presbytery? Once it was inaugurated, she served as the first presbytery clerk, and because she had what it takes.
My mother has always been very involved in the school that she taught, in church, in the community where she should be running the women's group, where she should be running the widows group, where she should be running the water project. You know, she was always off to one meeting or the other. All along, she's also very involved in our schoolwork, very involved in the PTA of the schools that we went to, both for me and my siblings. She was running a farm. She had a farm that had many animals, its cows, its chicken, pigs. She has really done the work, and she deserves the reward.
Jacinta Wachira is a go-getter. I would also say she is a walking office, more of a library. As a counselor, what she does, she's a good listener, and she's able to walk a journey with you until you get out of the challenge, and then also she'll guide you and help you to deal with your emotions until you are healed.
I ventured in counseling when I became widowed. I was very devastated when I became widowed. I had many challenges. I didn't know how to move on. One colleague referred me for counseling. I was amazed at the kind of support, emotional support that I got. And because I knew other people who were going through the same kind of challenge as me, and they hadn't gotten that kind of opportunity at that time, I decided to learn something about counseling. And that's where my counseling journey started. So I started by doing short courses, to the point I did my master's and then my doctorate.
For me, growing up, it was a bit different growing up as an only girl in a house full of boys. So she was the only girl that I could talk to, and she actually used to say that we are girls, we are girls together. So I would go to her and talk to her about the things that I was going through. And the one thing about my mom is that she is a very good listener. She's not judgmental. Like I said, she does not even shout. I've rarely heard my mother shout. I would say very confidently that my mother is my friend. She holds me accountable. We call ourselves accountability partners. She's a good friend, she's a good accountability partner, not just as a mother, but she's a really good accountability partner.
Taeoda, Mom, nĩ arutĩte wĩra mũingĩ mũno na makĩria nĩ arũmbũyagia atumia a ndigwa. You go an extra mile to make sure andũ othe nĩ maikara ũrĩa Ngai atwathĩte twĩke. Makĩria wendo.
Arĩ mwarimũ wakwa rĩrĩa ndathomaga kũrĩa Kirangari High School, na agakorwo gĩtugĩ kĩnene mũno ona family-inĩ itũ, agatuonereria ũhoro wa bata wa gĩthomo, na agagĩkorwo atĩ nĩ andeithĩtie mũno ũhoro wa gũkũra kĩroho ona gũkũra na wĩra-inĩ wa Ngai, na ngakĩmũcokeria ngatho.
She has been a very inspiring mom to us as the youth, even to I personally. Whenever I had problems, amekuwa akini advise, akini encourage, shule academically, amekuwa kitupea motisha, kituonyesha value ya masomo na tuna appreciate.
Sidhani kuna mtu najua hajai kunywa uji yake mwenye anaishi karibu naye. Of course she is a nice cook. I can say that personally from experience. It's not just about the cooking. I don't know another person who is as consistent as my grandmother. When I think of consistent, I think my grandmother. What she has achieved, akienda masters, akienda PhD, I am inspired honestly. She is one of a kind. Anawajibika, and it's a good thing. She is a role model.
She's so passionate with the church and especially the youths. Every time we have anything we need, she has always been there for us.
Nĩatũbundithagia maũndũ maingĩ mũno na gũtũhe ciugo njega mũno. Rĩu ningĩ ona kũruku yang twamũrora ũguo nĩtwendiragia tũkoiga atĩ narĩ korwo no tũtũre take rĩu ũguo ahana nĩ tondũ nĩ mũndũ mwega maũndũ-inĩ mothe.
And here in Kandeng'wa, she's one of our Sunday school teachers. She's actually among the people who initiated and thought, why can't we have a curriculum? Because we're having different teachers coming in and they come and just teach anything they feel like this is what I want to teach this day. There's no theme. And so there was no consistency in this. But when she highlighted that, things got very, very easy for us. Because now the teacher had a curriculum they are following. She also did training, such that a teacher is able to interact with the curriculum, be able to plan, be able to get ready for the children.
Jacinta has been a guiding pillar for the PCMF. Whenever we encounter areas where we are unable to make decisions, Dr. Jacinta came in to guide us.
I actually call her my mom because the time we were ordained as elders, she became my mentor, she became my coach, and I tried as much as possible to emulate because I could see very good characters in her.
She has really served very well with dedication. She's a woman of faith, and we wish her God's blessings to both herself and the family.
We are surprised that Elder Jacinta is retiring because she seems like she is just starting. Even in the village, in the water projects, in community service, this has taken a lot of dedication.
So we thank you members for patronizing the circle.
The last 6 years now, I've been the chair of our Presbyterian circle.
Encourage your family members, encourage your friends.
We are encouraging a saving culture. We are encouraging people to borrow, to start investments.
She's also a very good worker. She works very hard. She has very strong integrity and work ethics. And I think even with my brothers and I, we inherited a little bit of that. Anyone who has passed through her hands has a very good work ethic and a lot of integrity in the work that they do.
I have to say that she's also a very spiritual woman. She's also a very prayerful woman. She has dedicated us before the Lord every step of the way since when we were children, and until now, even the projects that we undertake, we would say that it is the prayers of our mother that have brought us to where we are.
There we are. Her legacy for sure is going to be her love for not just us, for the people in the community. We have seen her spread this knowledge that she has acquired throughout her journey, and it has reached us. It has reached to the very core of our hearts, and we know for sure when we see her, it's love. It's the love of God that has been that translates from God through her heart and unto us.
I have learned a lot from Mom, from how to take care of my family, how to be a good wife, how to be a good mother, and having observed her giving herself wholeheartedly to what she does while she was teaching, what she does with her family, what she does to the community, I hope and pray that I can be half the woman that she is.
She's an amazing woman. She's an amazing mother. She's an amazing grandmother. We are blessed as a family to have her as a matriarch, as the matriarch of our home. It is a very high bar, you know, to live up to. But my mother is the best of the flock.
One, I would wish to thank her for accepting to be a tool, to be used to the glory of God. She never gave up. Even when she would have challenges, she would walk strong and become very strong in that service. And this encourages other people. If God calls, do not worry about how you'll do it. He will show you when you get to the job.
There's need in this vineyard. There's need for workers in the vineyard. And because God will never come down here for us to serve Him, we serve Him through serving mankind. That would be my encouragement. Yeah.